Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
Alright, welcome back to Wind Tunnel TV. Tonight, it's the Kylou Glass Gen 4 series as we go back in time and tackle old Texas here tonight. I'm Dean Doucette, he's Jared Carr. Jared, old Texas, an old favorite of ours.
Yeah, Dean, this is a good track and probably would be remiss to say better than the current version, right? I mean, it is a two-groove track. You're going to see guys moving around. We're looking at warm-up right now. We're seeing drivers run in the middle groove. We're seeing drivers run against the wall. This is going to be a fun track. Not quite the same as Charlotte and Atlanta. It has its own unique twists. Dean, you come off turn 4, you're going to go into a really flat front straightaway, and the same thing can be said as you dive off into 1. That banking transition off of turn 2 is also something to watch out tonight, Dean. It's going to be a huge race for these drivers.
Yeah, something I used to really love about this track, Jared, was turn 3, the entry there. I wouldn't call it a false entry, but you can drive it in a lot deeper than people realize into that corner. I would be interested to see how that plays out. And, you know, you had a little inside information on tire wear. It looks like, you know, maybe driving it in might not be a great idea here tonight.
Yeah, we're hearing that, you know, some of these drivers are talking about that they're running out of tire completely, which means they're getting there are no quote blown tires in iRacing, but once you hit the 0%, the car will basically not turn, and you'll get a meatball flag. We are hearing some rumblings that could be something to watch out here, you know, in that 40 lap range. So Dean, we'll have to take a look and see if that actually comes to fruition.
Yeah, we definitely will. And another thing we got to keep an eye on. Now, these points are unofficial, but they were updated just a week ago or so they be very close. And they do include last week's win, which Jason Ratliff made it 3 in a row. So he is on an absolute tear. Going to be hard to stop out here. But Jason, oddly enough, with those 3 wins, Jared, his lead minimal, and we're not talking over one guy. You got Walker in second, Owens, Powers, Ripka, Brantley, Tony Ratliff, Wes Pistol, all still right in this thing, and you could probably go back to Greg Ratliff. That would be 10 drivers in this championship, 3 races remaining.
Yeah, you look at this battle, and Ratliff, you know, he's had some great runs as of late, but let's not forget, you know, he has that 30th place finish back in Las Vegas, and that was a huge day because that was the same race that Michael Walker won. So that's your big difference, you know, right now, why Ratliff hasn't been able to pull ahead just yet. But Dean, 13 points is a lot. That is technically 13 positions, and if Jason Ratliff continues his dominance and doesn't get caught up in something else, I mean, we got 27 cars here tonight. This could be a night where he puts a stamp on the season.
Well, it could be, and it could be someone else's night, because one thing when you're kind of out of it in a championship, man, a win sure does taste nice, Jared. So we got several drivers here as well for win only thing on their mind. Can't wait to see if they can get it done. Right now, everybody beginning to grit up here. I mean, I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to this, Jared.
Absolutely, and Dean, this is the fun part is old Texas. It hasn't been updated like the rest of these tracks, so these guys are going to be in for some surprises throughout this race.
Absolutely, they will be. Let's get into tonight's starting grid. On the pole, it's Wes Pistol, the number 98, with a time of 30.016. Austin Inman starts on the outside of row 1. So row 1, you know, basically Gen 4 type of drivers. These guys love these cars. They start up front. You got Greg Ratliff and points leader Jason Ratliff in row 2. Ross Weiss and Craig Martin will start in row number 3. Row 4 will have Ripka and Fleming. You go a little further back, Michael Walker, he's second in points. TJ Rogers, he's inside the top 10. There's Tom Ashley and Troy Torgensen rounding out your top 12.
Hey, excuse me, excuse me, my goodness. You look a little bit further back, we have Klaus Williams and Todd Gilly in row 7. Owens, not a great qualifying effort. That's something we haven't seen from him. Back there in row 8 with Tony Ratliff. Jason Brantley, who had a great run last week, with Jason Spear in row 9. Then we have Tracy Powers and Royce Valley in row 10. Bob LaPrime and Herb Ashley in row 11. Then Daryl Spear, the last driver taking a time tonight. 4 drivers not taking a time. Those are Brad Collins, Tom Lester, Eric Whiting, and George Racone. And Royce Valley, connection drop there right now, Dean. So he is going to miss the start of the race, unfortunately.
Yeah, Brantley, the big possum, not gridding up either. So they're waiting perhaps for those guys to grid up. We'll see if they can get to the surface. So we got to be careful with Jared here in the booth tonight, folks. You know, Jared out there hitting the weights tonight. So, you know, who knows, testosterone levels could be up a little bit.
Looks like he had some issues with his throttle pedal is what I'm hearing for Jason Brantley.
All right, so Valley and Brantley not out there. Brantley on pit road, though. He might be able to at least start from there. Pace car taking him around. One thing I love, Jared, the look of these machines just brings back memories for me.
It does. I mean, it was a golden era of NASCAR, and maybe, you know, one day we'll get back there, Dean. I have some faith that we might.
Oh, I've been working on my time machine, Jared. It's almost complete.
Good,
I just need a test subject.
I know a few that I would mind.
You would volunteer them, no problem.
Yeah, volunteer them, yeah.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for that. Here we go. Pace car off the track. Wes Pistol and Austin Inman will lead them down into corner number 1. Great start on the inside.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little slow start. I thought that Austin Inman was going to get jacked up there on the outside line. He really got away slow, may have spun the tires. But boy, Wes Pistol opening up the gap already, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe Inman was even able to fight for that spot. He's not going to just fight for it. He's going to keep it. So I'm really surprised that inside lane didn't take that thing over, Jared.
Yeah, Greg Ratliff being a little bit conservative at the start. That's typical Greg Ratliff. No need to press the issue early on.
All right now, Craig Martin up on the high side. Above Lance Ripka. Weiss kind of in between there. He's right in the middle groove. So already we're showing something that we're getting used to here, Jared. These cars produce multi-groove racing.
Yeah, and I think this track produces it in just about any car. I ran this car during the offseason in the Xfinity car, the current one, and the outside groove really comes in, especially in 3 and 4. I don't know 100% if that's going to be the case in this car long term, but it sure looks like that right now.
All right, Ross Weiss moving up into 4th. Greg Ratliff falling back 1. It's still Martin and Ripka battling for 6th position. Right behind them, Michael Walker the 2nd. He needs a big night. Remember, he's 2nd in points.
Yeah, we got all kinds of action out in the YouTube world already, Dean. We got Doyle Lawrence. He's a regular contributor out there. He is out there rooting on Troy Torgerson and watching a good race out here tonight. We got 13 people watching live right now. So if you're out there watching, give us a shout out. Let us know who you're following so we can take a look at your favorite driver.
And there is Troy Torgerson. Chris Owens right in front of him. Owens has picked up 5. Torgenson's up 1. So these two on the move, and they're right behind Michael Walker.
Yeah, Michael Walker, you know, we've seen this week in and week out, Dean, where he is very conservative at the beginning of these races, and he really comes in so strong as the run goes on. I have a feeling Michael Walker, yeah, he's letting these guys kind of battle it out. He's not pressing the issue too much, but I think he's going to be around when the pit stops begin.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's a methodical driver in this series. I think his is a car that suits him, and he's here for the long run. 135 laps out there. That's 45 lap runs, Jared. We do have those concerns about the tires. TJ Rogers right now taking a peek on the outside of Greg Ratliff, trying to peek in the middle of Weiss and Craig Martin as well.
Side by side up front, Dean, and this is you know, a little bit loose off the corner there. That was the 72 machine of TJ Rogers. He has been hustling that machine, trying to get to the front. We've seen speed out of TJ. Now, we talked to him the last time, Dean, that he was on the podium, said he couldn't make all the races. He's just here for the W's and the 72 car moving forward.
Yeah, and I love it because, you know what, he knows who he is, Jared. He's not going to do something that he's not comfortable with. He's going to go out here and use his stuff up. He's going to the front. He don't care. You want to save tire? Go right ahead. That TJ Rogers not going to try and do what he's not an expert at. What he's good at, driving fast and going to the front, Jared.
Tell you what, Ross Weiss in the 41 machine there, very sideways off of turn 4. And Dean, we've talked about, I mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, turn 2, coming off turn 2, it flattens out really quickly. The same thing off turn 4. That's what makes this track so challenging and so unique to Charlotte or Atlanta, where the transition is not as harsh.
Yeah, it definitely does. Here's Ripken 8th. Owens up to 9th now. He's picked up 6. If you look a little further back, there's Tony Ratliff. He's in this battle. There's a Toad Man, Todd Gilly, Tom Ashley, Michael Fleming all back here. That's 15th place is Fleming. Claus Williams right behind him. Let's go ahead and hop on board with TJ Rogers here. Currently in 3rd position. He's our big mover. And you look for the lead. Jason Ratliff, 3 consecutive victories. Already going to the front. He is a lot loose there, but he still makes the move on West Pistol. Pistol going to be conservative here, I think, and kind of trying to play this out for the long run. Rogers now on the outside of him. He'll take over 2nd with a little smash of the wall.
Yeah, and you see how much he's working that wheel inside that machine, Dean. He is really trying to hold the balance of that car, just barely. You know he wants to move that wheel more, but he's having to do minor corrections because this car is so loose right there in the back wheel. No, you're off camber off the corner. Have to really counter steer coming off turn 2 there.
All right, and here comes Inman back to the front. So quickly, Pistol goes from 1st to 4th. That seems to be his type of strategy, Jared.
Yeah, I think Pistol's got a lot of speed, but I also think that, you know, when you're in the lead, it's hard to pace, right? And you know, when you're a newcomer to a league, you know, haven't raced around the Ratliffs and, you know, some of these, the TJ Rogers, you know, a lot of the drivers in this field have raced together in other series. So you have to kind of find your rhythm a little bit, and I think he's going to find it here. The car doesn't look like he's wore it out too bad yet, so I think he's going to be able to slot in either here or right behind Greg Ratliff, who's coming in a hurry.
All right, early going here in the Kylou Glass Gen 4 series. Make sure you check out Kylou Glass for all your blown glass needs. Owens taken to the high side up there, a little higher than Martin. What do you think about that, Jared?
Yeah, he's getting up in that high end. And, sorry, I got a little bit distracted. I thought we had a little bit of contact between Weiss and the other car he's around. I can't tell that number from up here, but
yeah,
Royce Valley,
that's
number
Craig.
75.
That was Craig Martin in the yellow car.
Yeah.
So Craig Martin, he's looking like he's more comfortable in this machine. Still, though, Weiss on by. Owens remains up high on the track. We'll see how this all plays out for him. That's about the 4th time I've seen him smash the wall, though, Jared.
Yeah, and there is a little bit of that netcode wall hit there going on, but some of those are actual valid contacts, and I do wonder if that is going to affect him as the run goes on.
Yeah, it very well could be. It does have a cumulative effect. Remember, there was an update just about a year ago, Jared. Cumulative effect is an effect.
Absolute Pistol battling back now under Austin Inman. Now Greg Ratliff going to get underneath of there as well. So Inman, who looked a little bit strong, is starting to get underneath. As the top two start to check out.
Yeah, it's very interesting to watch as Jason Ratliff, yearly leader, winner of 3 consecutive races, and your championship leader. By no means walking away. But Pistol and Inman, they've been a conundrum here tonight. They've moved forward, they've moved backwards, then forward again. Jared, I mean, I don't even know what I'm witnessing here.
Yeah, the cars just seem to be ebb and flow. Now this track, Dean, I have some hypotheses on it in general, and it seems to be that this is a much more heat-dependent track than it is a, wow, Ross Weiss wickedly loose off turn 2. I lost my train of thought because there is a gaggle back there with the 32 machine, or 41 machine, 32 machine there, and there it is a hailstorm of a battle back there.
Yeah, Weiss, of course, is not showing his correct number. So that's officially the 41 in the 32 Tide machine. Behind him, Inman and Owens, Ripka and Martin, and they were going at it pretty heavy there.
Weiss does get clear. Now here comes the 26 machine of Chris Owens trying to get around Inman. Inman's starting to fall like a brick. I wonder if he's used those tires up, as Ripka now looking underneath. Inman pinches a little bit there.
That's what I'm saying. Inman went forward, then back, then forward. Now he's going back again. I can't figure him out for the life of me. The only guy I can figure out, Jason Ratliff, out front, stretching it out a little bit. I don't know what he's found or where he found it, Jared, but I want to find out about it.
Absolutely, and these guys continue to battle through this race, and I mean, it is a battle up front too. As Greg Ratliff gets underneath TJ Rogers, and TJ was just battling for the win. He's loose, he cuts in front of Weiss. There's contact on the front straightaway. Weiss is through the grass.
Weiss down through the pit road cone. I don't know if that's a penalty or not.
I don't think that cone counts, so I think he's good. I think it's a green cone you don't want to hit, so he should be good. But that all stacked up with TJ Rogers getting loose off turn 4, Dean, and nowhere for Owens to go. He's going to get the worst of it, I think, in the 26 machine. Heavy front end damage on that car.
Yeah, Owens into the back of them there. Clearly, Weiss checking up for Rogers, and he got ran over for his efforts. That happens. Everything happens so fast. But we just seen someone who, we talked about TJ. TJ going to the front. He's not going to save his stuff, Jared. And even in the tri-oval is where he broke loose there.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that off camber banking transition from turn 4 into the dogleg is so sudden that it can really upset the car. Especially if you have wheel into it. If you're counter steering, if you have wheel into it, it can really put a lot of weight transfer on that right rear and cause situations like that. Or put it on the right front and you just smack the wall. I mean, I'm thinking about Jeff Gordon in '98 where he may have broken some ribs in that wreck. I mean, there were some bad wrecks in turn 4 at Texas. Everybody come down pit road, Dean.
Yeah, the whole field coming in here. Nobody going to stay out. Even Brantley is in. And Brantley, great caution for him. He started on pit road. He's still on the lead lap. So this is huge for the 3. Race off of pit road. Always important. Track position here. And you see Jason Ratliff, Wes Pistol, first and second out. Looks like Greg and TJ Rogers. I think TJ Rogers got that spot back. Chris Owens might have squeaked up there as well. Maybe not.
That was a tight battle We'll see where everything stacks
thought
out.
Rogers got it, but we're seeing Greg Ratliff drive around him, so Greg gonna grab that, keep his third position. Rogers fourth, Owens fifth, Ripka, Walker, Inman, Martin, and Tony Ratliff your top 10 right now.
Yeah, I went back and looked at the replay. It is by about half a nose length that Greg Ratliff beat him offline. It is the green cones. That orange cone is not relevant. But yeah, a tight battle off pit road.
Now, Jared, what we're seeing here in the times, I'm seeing, forget pit road times. Let's go with just in your pit stall times. 14.8, 14.9, 14.7, 15.1. Everybody's seemingly different. What can a driver do here to improve those in pit stall times?
Well, the key is you don't want to be too far back in the box, and you don't want to be too far forward in the box. Usually you want to stop right on the sign, and basically the sign will lift, and your car seems to be like right underneath the sign. That's about perfectly as far forward as you want to be. Then obviously the left and right, you want to be even in the box. So basically you want an even amount of space all the way around the car. You don't want to be in there sideways. You don't want to be in there, rear end or front end pointed out, rear end pointed in. You don't want those things. You want to be in there perfectly perpendicular to the pit box and as tight to that sign as you can get.
Wow, big words, perpendicular. I don't know if I can handle it, Jared. I'll give it a shot, though. Great advice, though. It really is that simple, isn't it? Stop where you're supposed to stop. Here we go. Pace car off the track, going back. Green flag racing, much like we started, except for the rifleman will get us going this time. Decent start by everybody here. Again, Greg Ratliff perhaps a little slow through the gears. And now Ripka will come to challenge him. Inman up there as well. Inman flying.
Inman almost putting it 3 wide, thinks better of it on Ripka as the top 3 get away already. And Pistol looking underneath Ratliff into turn 3. Won't make the move, can't get there.
All right, Rogers right back there with those freshies. So watch the 72. He's going to have 5 or 10 laps with those freshies on, and he's going to feel good.
Look at these drivers. It is a battle all over this track, Dean. We did have Paul Travis out in the chat. I think this was earlier before the caution, around the time of the caution, but he was wanting to know where Jason Brantley is running. He was off the back, had some problems with the car, but he was able to catch up thanks to that caution we just had. So he should be starting to make some transition to the field now.
Yeah, he had a technical issue, had to start from the pits. So big bonus, that caution, and I think what you'll witness from him is he's probably going to save his stuff here for a little bit, seeing as how he's at the back of the field, but by no means out of this thing. Owens makes a move underneath the Inman here.
Yeah, tight move there, and a tight move for second place is TJ Rogers all over the back of Pistol. It's Ford.
Oh, and he wrecks him! He gets into him. Pistol with a great job trying to save it. This is tough. Through the grass he goes. Come back on the service. Then 98, a master job of saving it, but he's going to the back.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Great car control by Pistol, but he is going to be well off the back. Dead last on the running order now.
Wow.
From second.
What a turn of events for West Pistol. Looked like he had a race-winning car, and he was playing it smooth and slow, but Rogers into the back of him, and it is going to be a long haul for him now. Craig Martin up on the high side. He's going to go around Greg Ratliff here. So Craig Martin, he's been kind of in that middle to high side all night. He likes it.
Ratliff continuing to make some moves. But, a driver I want to point out too, Dean, is Craig Martin, which I think is who you were talking about. He has just really found something on that middle groove like you were saying, Dean.
Yeah, he's looking really, really good here. Now the question is he going to burn his stuff up? That's always the question in these cars. You cannot burn them up. You're going to lose the vehicle, and like we talked about in the pre-race, guys even complaining that they might blow a tire if they're asked to do a long run.
And that's going to be something to watch as already, Dean, this field is already single file. Now, remember the first part of this run, there wasn't as much rubber built up. Now we've got a lot of rubber built up. It's really interesting to see guys trying to find some grip. We got somebody way up high trying to run the wall. I'm not entirely sure who that is. He's deep in the
Klaus
field.
Williams.
Yeah, there you go. Klaus. Hey, I've hit the wall, though, but don't want to be that high.
Yeah, Klaus running that high groove. We know he likes it up there. That might have been a little extreme. The Toad Man down underneath them. So there goes Todd Gilly up into 12th. Tony Ratliff a couple up. He is up 6th into 10th.
Yeah, this is some great battles. I like the Todd Gilly paint. It reminds me of a Dick Trickle paint. I always like to bring out paint scheme stuff. It reminds me of Dick Trickle paint from the 2000s.
Well, there you go. Was that an old NBC paint?
Helig Myers, a department store.
I do believe you brought that up before. I'm going to have to commit that one to memory, but my memory is suspect.
Yeah. I have too much useless information in mind, Dean. Don't worry about it.
It's not useless here, Jared. Welcome. Battle
Top
up.
2, Dean.
Yeah, the
It's
rifleman
yeah.
is setting a pace, and TJ Rogers is hanging with him, but I don't think that's going to last. I mean, Jason Ratliff, there's just something. I mean, I shouldn't say that about TJ. We've seen some wonderful things from TJ Rogers, but the rifleman has found the most dangerous combination, Jared. Short run speed merged with long run speed.
Yeah, and we saw last week where he was just kind of and also ran for a large portion of that race, Dean, and he ended up winning the race. Like, I mean, he was not really in the top 10, was very conservative. All of a sudden, pit stops start opening up, and he starts moving through the field as that run ended. And tonight, he's up front leading this race, and the gap 1.3 seconds from second to third. They continue to increase that gap on Ripka.
Yeah, they're increasing here. Rogers starting to put a little bit of heat here on the rifleman. Ripka back there, and that's another guy we've been talking about. He's found his groove again. I don't want to call him Stella or anything, Jared, but seems like he's found his groove.
Stella?
Well, I figured I might have baffled with that reference. There was a movie.
Wow.
Stella got her
movie,
groove back.
Yeah, from the 2000s, right?
I couldn't tell you, Jared. I don't know what's in here or when it's going to come out.
1998. So I was close.
I mean,
wow.
Stumped you finally. My goodness. Had to reach deep.
I knew the movie, actually. I was just trying to think of the year. I was just surprised at that reference, Dean. That's all.
Here's a look at Tom Ashley down in 12th. Go ahead.
Everybody's single filed out right now, but we do have a battle for the lead as TJ Rogers throwing it underneath Ratliff for the lead in 3 and 4.
All right, so Rogers going to go on through. Looks like Jason just kind of moved over there and said, you want it, take it, and he'll look to come back on him. But TJ Rogers, you know, he has really shocked me. I talk a lot about him on the short run and that, and he might not like that because he's been able to hold it too. What I talked about with Jason Ratliff, TJ Rogers does that too. He's got the short run and he's got some long run as well. We've seen him famously take 2 tires on 50 after a 50 lap run, Jared, and still hold second place.
Yeah, TJ, very talented, obviously old school driver. A lot of people are old school drivers in this league, and you can tell by the racing, right? A lot of respect, but also a lot of hard racing. But don't look now. Lance Ripka starting to put down some good lap times. He has closed that gap just a little bit to around a second after he got clear of Chris Owens, who now has a little bit of a train forming behind him.
Yeah, Ripka, fastest guy on the track right now, so he's absolutely flying. Looks like Torgerson's looking pretty solid there too. He is in front of Greg Ratliff in 7th. He's up 5 spots now. So he's joined this group. This is where it gets difficult. You see Craig Martin a little ahead, making a move on Owens. Martin looking solid. Owens perhaps squeezing him a little bit there, and that'll slow his momentum. And someone chasing it down the track.
That was a heavy chase there.
That
Dean,
is Eric Whiting, yeah.
Eric Whiting, the 13 machine.
So Whiting, great job of saving it, but that'll cost him a bunch. Up front, Rogers and Ratliff. Then it's Ripka running them down. He matched our leaders that time. Chris Owens still holding off this group. Jared, I know you like the 26 machine. Can he get up here?
Well, his lap times have actually been trending the other direction. Everybody's kind of stacking up behind him. I think the tires have kind of gone away on the 26 machine, or he's just not coming to grip. He's really loose off turn 4 there. And Inman, he's going to try to get to the nose of the outside of that machine. I think that's the way you're going to have to get around him. He's on the outside of him now.
Well, he was. It was almost in the outside of him there. So that was a tough move by Inman. But he gets up there, and that'll stall out Owens. So now the outside going to come forward here a little bit. Inman up to 4th. Here's Craig Martin.
This is tight battling, Dean. Oh, Owens is so loose. That car, you're already seeing what makes turn 4 and also turn 2 so difficult. You're cranking wheel, and all of a sudden it gets flat, and all of a sudden you're just trying to hold on to it off of those corners, Dean.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Owens and Torgerson both loose. Ratliff has lost connection. Jason Ratliff dropping off the board. A technical issue for our points leader. Tragedy has struck the rifleman.
And Dean, we talked about in our pre-race, Jason's been good, but the same thing happened in Vegas. He had a technical issue, came back, got his lap back, got involved in a wreck at that track back earlier this year at, I think that was in Vegas. And Dean, that's what's going to undo the championship is no championship lead is safe in this league, Dean. And now we have a 3-car battle for the lead.
TJ Rogers.
Oh, Ratliff is back. Ratliff is back. Sorry, he is back on the track.
So Jason Ratliff appears right where he was, but he's a lap down now, Jared. So he's literally just vacated a lap, and now he's right back where he was.
Yeah, that is tough. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that I don't know what you do in that scenario.
Well, what you do is you take the lead, so you don't even need the lucky dog. He would be the lucky dog, of course, but he gets up in front of Rogers. He would get it back the old-fashioned way. He needs a caution in the worst way. Ripka continuing to hunt. He looks strong. The 52 is closing. Further back.
Go ahead.
I just noticed some things going on towards the further back area. I thought it was Weiss. I'm trying to search for him. There he is. So Weiss, along with Tony Ratliff, Chris Owens, the Toad Man in here, Tom Ashley's in here, and depending on when you catch them, they kind of get log jammed together.
Yeah, Jason Ratliff, just to put a point on where we were going there, is running 25th technically on track now. That's a huge point difference that he could give up. He's only 13 points ahead of Michael Walker, Dean.
Yeah, it's a shame, but we don't really have like engines letting go for no reason or tires blowing for no reason. You can just assume he had to go down and duct tape something together, and he's back out there where he belongs. All is well, but he is in the fight for his championship now.
Tom Lester in the fight for his car control as that thing got wicked loose off turn 4, Dean. He did a great job, went through the grass and got that 78 machine back under control, but that was almost a wreck there coming through the corner.
All right, this is Lester along with Brad Collins. I think George Rincon in here and Robert LaPrime. That's 21st on back. Out front, TJ Rogers leading. Ripka starting to close in. Oh, and behind him, Craig Martin does a little power wobble, and he's into the wall, but he's all right.
Also, update on Chris Owens. He has fallen all the way back to 13th. In fact, Wes Pistol, who had that excursion earlier, has already passed him and made his way back up to 11th from 25th at one point in time in this run, Dean. So Wes Pistol on the move back to the front. Owens trending the opposite direction.
What a story that would be. So 2 top contenders, Wes Pistol, Jason Ratliff, with unexpected problems, one on the track, one at home, and they're both in a fight here, and I think you might still see them at the front at the end. Speaking of the front, there goes Ripka on the inside of TJ Rogers. Rogers trying to hold him off. I don't think he can. Lance, Buckshot Ripka, your new leader.
Ripka's had quite the season, Dean, in that car. But I'll tell you what, he has not led all that many laps, Dean. Only 81 laps led this entire season. That puts him 6th on the lap leader ranks.
Yeah, but I think more importantly for him throughout all the series, he is getting back to where he once was. And he was the man to beat in this RGR Racing League. Now, seemingly, back towards the top of the ranking boards. Starting to pull away from TJ Rogers. Jason Ratliff just hanging out, hoping and praying for a caution. Austin Inman, the up and down night kind of continues. He's back to 3rd now. Craig Martin, another great story out here. Not sure about his history, Jared, but looks to me like this is one of his best runs.
Yeah, Craig Martin having a great run, and we kind of look at the data, right? I love looking at the data.
Torgerson's right behind him here.
Looks like this is his first night in this car, so good run for Craig.
Okay, well, I've seen Craig around the track. He's definitely raced in the other series, so maybe just a car that suits him better. We've seen that, a guy we could talk about as we see Torgerson in 5th now, up 7 spots, but Michael Walker, a guy who definitely loves this car, Jared, and Jason Ratliff's problems are bonus for Michael Walker. He's 2nd in points.
Oh, Martin loose into turn 3. Torgerson powering underneath of him. And Dean, you're talking about these drivers, but Torgerson, he's knocking on the doorstep of a top 3 right now, and that would be one of his best runs of the year. If not, actually would be his best run if he was able to finish in that spot.
Very interesting night here at Old Texas as some of the, quote, old heads are coming to the front, Jared.
Absolutely. And, Dean, we talked earlier about a baseball legend and some broadcasting legends there offline. And one thing, I always like to bring up statistics and data, but statistics are used much like a drunk uses a lamppost for support, not illumination. So just something to think about.
Okay, well, I'll think about that one.
Just a little Vince Scully action for those.
Yeah,
that
Vince Scully, famous call he had there with Kirk Gibson we were talking about, and the best part of that call was silence, Jared.
Absolutely. And I think the field is in silence right now watching Lance Ripka open up a 1.2 second lead over TJ Rogers. This has been Ripka just really showing some pace here tonight that we haven't really seen out of him in this car yet.
Well, him and the other story, Wes Pistol, now up to 9th, Jared, and he has continually been one of the fastest cars on the track every lap. Now, he's got to pass cars, so some of these laps won't show it, but trust me, he's one of the fastest cars out there right now as Weiss coming in on lap 57.
Something that's going to help Jason Ratliff, by the way, Dean, is we do have 2 retirements. Jason and Darryl Spear out of the race. Jason just now pulling his car to the garage. So that is a free position for Jason Ratliff.
All right, Owens in along with Weiss as pit stops have begun here on lap 57. So they're definitely on a 2-stopper. this is interesting, Jared. We talk about it week in and week out. I mean, these guys going to have to go to lap 68 to get to beyond the halfway mark.
Yeah, and you're still setting up for the second part of the run. We had that one caution in the first part of this run. So if you can't make it, you know, on one more stop, you might as well come down pit road as early as you can and try to get some track position. So I like the call by these two drivers.
Yeah, I like it as well. Here's a look at Inman along with Torgerson as they start to work on TJ Rogers. Austin Inman seemingly has planned this race out, and I got to tell you, Torgerson as well. They are both mowing them down and putting them down.
Yeah. What a job by Austin Inman tonight. He is our third best driver rating driver in the field. Oh, TJ Rogers up in the wall in 3 and 4. He's going to lose a spot pretty easily to Troy Torgerson, or I thought he was. My goodness, how did he recover?
How did he find that speed? Torgerson must have lifted pretty heavily there. I'm not sure why or what happened there, but you see Rogers way up the track. Torgerson just drives right on underneath him. Here comes Craig Martin down underneath Rogers. So Rogers fading here late in this run. Lap 60 of 135 here at Texas. Rogers battles back.
Yeah, he undercuts there. Now we got Greg Ratliff, we got Michael Walker, and Dean, we have Wes Pistol in this battle.
And we had Williams and Fleming come on to pit road. So, yeah, this battle heating up back here. And, yeah, Pistol comes underneath the Walker. So, Pistol still coming forward. Up to 7th now. He's looking for a 2-for-1 as Ratliff drifts up towards TJ Rogers. Pistol underneath of both of them.
3 wide through that corner sometimes can be dangerous. And TJ Rogers is going to come out ahead right now. But Ratliff, the big loser, he's going to lose 2 spots there as Pistol gains 2 spots.
Rogers, you know, he's driving in on that high side, Jared, and that car is stalling out every time.
But he gets such a great run off the corner that he's able to pull it back, and there we go. Greg Ratliff underneath him, heavy in the middle of the corner, and then Rogers kind of sweeping out. Now Michael Walker in this battle. Rogers doing everything he can to hold on to a Dean. And if I'm Rogers and I'm hemorrhaging this time, you know, maybe it's not in your strategy, maybe it's not what you want, but I would head pit road. I would be down pit road right now.
How about the Toad Man? He's made it up to 8th position. Tony Ratliff behind him, now up to 9th. So Rogers is in full hemorrhage mode here. Someone get a doctor, Jared.
Yeah, somebody's got to stop the bleeding. He's going to stop the bleeding. He's on pit road.
All right, so Rogers says, that's enough of that. I'm coming in. I think that's a good call. And these are late stops, Jared. Make no mistake about it. Nobody's short pit. Nobody even on schedule pitting. These are late stops. And, I mean, they are close now. So they're only 4 laps away from halfway. Remember, we had a caution, though. So that influences, you know, how much fuel in the tank, how many laps you have to do. That caution on lap 21. So I don't think anybody can make it right now. I mean, maybe their math is correct if we factor in the pit stop on lap 21, Jared.
Yeah, and you kind of back this thing down, right? 135 laps. We've heard rumors of around 54 laps being the number. Tonight, that means they would have to make it at some point in this race. They have to be good on fuel from lap 81 on. So that's still 16 laps from now for them to be able to make it. So they still have to do 16 laps on fuel. That might be just enough, but it's going to be close, I think.
Well, it's going to be real close, but Inman and Ashley are in right now. So along with LaPrime, so I don't, and Tom Ashley as well.
Craig Martin is called out. He is coming to pit road as well.
All right, let's see if we can go on board with Craig Martin and see what he's dealing with here. Pulls off awful early. Track, no grip down there. He's waiting for that car to turn in. He'll get it. speeds up a bit, now gets her down to pit road speed. A decent stop, a little tentative, Jared, but it looks like it's a little icy down there.
Yeah, very conservative. I like to pit right where the pit road kind of comes in and then pull down. But we'll see how that plays out for him.
All right, Torgerson and Whiting in as well. Ripka stretching out the lead. He is now a 6-second lead over Pistol, who had to go to the back. Pistol up to second. Greg Ratliff in third. Michael Walker fourth. And the Toad Man, Todd Gilly, trying to hang on to fifth position as some guys with fresh tires come underneath them.
Yeah, Dean, my math says that these guys would have had to pit it on lap 27 to make it to the end on just one stop. So, I mean, with that caution, it's possible with just a little bit of, maybe clutching. I think that they could be very close. Some drivers could be very close to just making this thing on one stop, Dean.
It'll be interesting to see for sure as you see Claus Williams and Owens flying. Williams going to fly right by Owens. My goodness. TJ Rogers just set the best lap of the race as he goes 3 wide underneath of Brantley and Powers.
Yeah, Dean, I know we're kind of going through the middle of pit stops, but we have not talked a lot about Tracy Powers tonight. He came into this race 4th in points, but he has been running around 19th to 15th to 19th all race long. Just has not found the speed here tonight in Texas.
Yeah, and I can't find him on my list, Jared. I'm sure he's there somewhere.
Yeah, the number 40 machine there, and the Dodge Ford machine.
And I finally located him like he was a ghost, Jared. My goodness. And there he comes just in time for his pit stop. So Tracy Powers on pit road. Ripka's still out there, lap 71 of 135. Pistol not catching him. He's actually hemorrhaging time. And I think Pistol drove so hard to get through the field, Jared, he probably doesn't have a whole lot left.
No, and you're kind of conceded at this point, right? You're just kind of like, I got to get my number, whatever that is. But I'll tell you, Dean, we got some guys out in the chat, some guys and we've covered. We got Jason Jackson out there says, this field strategy is going to be crazy. And he's hearing the guys we're talking about blowing a right front tire like we were talking about earlier. And then we also have Paul K out there talking about blowing tires possibly. And we also have Lori Inman rooting on Austin Inman, who just came on my screen. He's in a tight battle with Rogers and Torgerson.
All right, Austin Inman currently in 13th. We'll bring up our pit board here and have a look. Now, he pitted on lap 65. Right now, the Toad Man coming on to pit road.
Gilly having a good run. He was in 7th at the time of the pit there. So, Dean, 9 laps is kind of what I'm thinking. These guys got to make 9 more laps, and that could be a huge thing for these drivers.
Well, and don't think about it, don't talk about it, Jared, but I will. A possible caution could flip this field right now. So everybody who's on pit road, Lester and Gilly, people who have pitted, they are in jeopardy here. They cannot come out on this track and spin on fresh tires. It would be tragedy.
No, and I'll tell you this: what who really doesn't want to caution is Jason Ratliff until pit stops have cycled through at least, because he is right now the 4th car 1 lap down. So this would not work out for him as he has not pitted yet.
Yeah, Jason Ratliff in all kinds of trouble. The Rifleman, 3 consecutive victories and the points lead in deep doo-doo here tonight. They bring up a Vince Scully classic, the old deep doo-doo.
Yeah, it's a Vince Scully night here tonight.
Greg Ratliff riding around. He's got Michael Walker on his bumper. These two mirror images of each other right now, Jared.
And it is getting intense on this racetrack. Battle for that position, Dean. Chris Owens making some moves on the high side with TJ Rogers and Torgerson in that group. And then you talk about Ripka. He's got all kinds of fresh tires coming around him. And this is always difficult when you are the race leader. You have to run your race. But, man, these guys come up on you in a hurry, and that's where problems can start.
Well, it is. And not only that, you turn your worst laps of the race, your old tire laps, into even worse laps because you're not using all the track, Jared.
Yeah, and exactly. But he does have a lot of cushion. And you see right now, everybody's sliding by him right now. Torgerson, Brad Collins getting around him, Rogers getting around him. All these drivers trying to get back on the lead lap. And this is crucial because these drivers are passing him. They have to make one more stop. That is 100%. They have to go hard. They have to go fast as possible. Ripka, he needs to make it to probably a lap 81, 82 to really be safety. So he's got to manage the tires. There might be some blowouts going on. So you got to manage the tires and you got to manage that fuel gauge. That's a lot to do while trying to maintain a gap.
All right, something happened with Tony Ratliff. Not sure what. He seems to be just fine in 6th position.
Yeah, it actually sounds, Dean, that he may have blown a tire.
Well, we got a little icon, and his tires don't look particularly good right now, that's for sure. So, yeah, he is getting called in. I think that's what I'm seeing. He's being called into the pits prematurely.
He has a meatball flag and no damage, so that is exactly right. If you do, the only way you
and
can have a
Pistol
blown tire,
also, Jared, being called onto pit road.
Yeah.
So we're getting people blowing tires out here, folks, and they're, at least they have a warning, I think, so they're able to get to pit road. Pistol and Tony Ratliff head in. That is not enough laps, according to Mr. Carr's abacus he was been using.
Yeah.
And Ripka also on pit road, so Ripka in, all of them 1 lap early, Jared.
Yeah, this is going to be tight. That means, I think, Ripka's coming to 81, not completed 81. So I think he's still going to have to play a little bit of fuel mileage, but he's going to be tight. I think that he's going to be fine to make it to the end. But, the Dean, we talked about earlier, the game does not model blown tires. The car just kind of stops handling, right? You blow it right front, gets tighter, blow it right rear, the car is undrivably loose. So the way they kind of force you to pit is by giving you that meatball flag, which is unfortunate for some of the drivers that were trying to make it to the end of this run.
All right, so now Jason Brantley, the big possum who started on pit road, he'll come on to pit road along with Michael Walker. They were the leaders, 1st and 2nd. They made it to the correct lap, Jared, just barely, but they made it.
Yeah, that's huge. I think that's massive for both of these drivers to kind of give themselves some assurance. I think Ripka will probably be fine because the pace is going to slow down, right? I mean, it is going to slow down. You can lift and coast. You can do all kinds of things to save 1 lap of fuel. But you'd rather be able to just drive normal than try to focus on saving.
So now, Jared, we have the 2-stopper versus the 1-stopper, so to speak, with that caution. Torgerson leading, Claus Williams 2nd, Ross Weiss in 3rd, TJ Rogers 4th, Austin Inman in 5th. Those 5 drivers all got to come in again. So can they do anything with this position? Ripka, who was leading, now in 13th position, Jared.
Yeah, I think, Dean, if you're Torgerson and all these guys that 100% have to make a second pit stop, I think you have to go as hard as you possibly can. Put as many cars as you can a lap down and try to get on pit road as soon as you can without giving up too much on the back end of the run.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the one thing I don't like when you do an extra pit stop, if you wait too long, 20 laps is not enough laps to make up track position. You need at least 30 on the back end.
Exactly, yeah, 30, 35. I would say anything more than that, you're probably stretching it to the point where there's going to be the tires will be equalized by that point in time. So you got to play it smart, and it's going to be tough to do. But I think these two stoppers can make good positions, but they just have to be smart about it, man.
Brantley up here on the outside of Rogers. Rogers, a huge wiggle. Brantley drives around him. Now he pulls up underneath of Claus Williams. Ross Weiss next. So Brantley trying to work through traffic, trying to get his lap back somehow, some way, as he comes up on second place, Ross Weiss.
And then you talk about the going back to the pit strategy. The number that you always mention is the 2-second fall off time, and for a two stop to be viable. And you look at Ripke's lap times at 30.3 to start the run off on lap 25. By the time he hit pit road, he was doing 32 ones, 32 twos, 32 threes, Dean. So this is going to be very interesting to see if a two-stopper can make this work tonight.
Yeah, it is. And the other factor that I always throw in there, Jared, is consistent drop-off, which this is the type of track I'm talking about, right? It's not going to level off at 2. It's going to go 2, 210, 220. Just going to keep a track where you can make it work. Can someone do it here tonight? Torgerson and Weiss in the best spot to do it right now. Brantley still cruising around out here trying to get that lap back. He's got one more car, and that's Troy Torgerson, who's not that far ahead of him.
You know, I'm sure everybody at RGR already knew this, and maybe you even knew this, Dean, but I just learned that Ross Weiss is a World of Outlaw photographer.
Well, there you go.
So he goes, you know, with all the World of Outlaws to all the big events, and yeah, saw him comment on something and about the race a couple weeks ago, and I was like, there can't be too many Ross Weisses in the world. And sure enough, it's the same guy. So that's pretty cool to see that in the league here.
It is, and it's the beauty of this community, Jared. You meet people all over the place, race car drivers, people working on pit crews. This one a bit of a first, a World of Outlaw photographer. I love it, though, Jared.
Absolutely. Got a lot of conversation in the track tonight. We got Jason Jackson up there talking about that tire wear. And Paul Travis, they're talking about this tire wear.
Caution on the track. It's Chris Owens down in the grass. Chris Owens driving through. Not sure what happened here. Oh, Nelly.
He was out of control from the beginning.
So
Wow.
here is Owens all alone on the track, Jared. He loses it out of 4. Bit of a speed wobble. Loses it again. Full spin, and there you see the cars coming by. That triggered the caution, and here we go. Things have flipped on their lid. Troy Torgerson out front. Ripke only made it back to 9th, and Jason Brantley, he will be your lucky dog.
Yeah, that's bad news for Jason Ratliff, who will have to probably take, I can't imagine he's going to want to stay a lap down. I think he's probably going to take the risk and do the wave around. But man, that is tough. And Greg Ratliff just got his lap back, by the way, with that late pit stop. So those guys on the late pit stop that were kind of mid-pack or outside the top 5, is everybody's going to come down pit road, I'm sure.
So this is the other side of the bonus, Jared, of doing a two-stopper. You have this portion of the race where you're out front or in the top 10 or so, and caution comes out. You just get to keep your position. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and you think about, you know, Walker, Greg Ratliff, Ripke, Michael Walker, Brantley, who had to take a lucky dog. Those guys really undone by this caution.
So everybody on pit road. Out front, Torgerson coming out first. Looks like Weiss and Inman, along with Rogers, Williams, Collins making a move. So I'm not sure. I think Collins may be a lap down.
He is, yes, he is.
So that position, he'll have to give up that. But it'd be Rogers 4th, Claus Williams, Craig Burton in 6th. Yes, I'm getting a little confused. My age starting to show, Jared. Confusion settling in on multiple fronts.
Yeah, Brad Collins pitted with the leaders, but he was a lap down. Tony Ratliff also pitted with the leaders. He is a lap down, so neither of those drivers are going to be eligible for the wave round. We do have Tom Lester, who's 16 laps down, and Jason Ratliff, who both of them electing not to pit. So Lester will get one of those laps back. Jason Ratliff will get back on the lead lap once he is released to wave around. But boy, it's going to be a tough row with these tires the way they are, Dean, as they go now.
Yeah.
He's going to have to hope for another caution.
I mean, he could probably make it with this caution, Jared, but definitely he's not going to be up to speed with no tires.
Yeah, he might be able to pick up a couple positions, in the run, and try to salvage something, but he really needs another flag to get back into this thing. But boy, oh boy, this is huge for Troy Torgerson, Dean. Some of the first laps he's led all season long, if you can believe that, in that 89 machine.
Unbelievable. Troy Torgerson, who's been looking good. Really, I think what he needed more than anything, track position, Jared. He's got it.
Absolutely. Only 4 laps led coming into tonight, and he is going to restart on the front row with Ross Weiss, who's also only led 4 laps this year.
Well, there you go. An interesting factoid. Inman and Rogers in row 2, Williams and Martin now in row 3, and then there's Ripka along with Fleming.
Green flag.
Good start both sides. Going through the gears though, Torgerson surges.
And Inman now going to get underneath Ross Weiss.
Oh, and they're checking up.
Oh man, Rogers did not go, Dean. TJ Rogers checked up that entire outside line.
And he almost lost it to boot, Jared. He is not having a good restart, let me tell you.
Oh, and Austin Inman all over Torgerson up front. We got so much going on right now. Klaus Williams, where did he come from? He's in 3rd position.
Yeah, Klaus Williams, another beneficiary of that caution. Here comes Ripka. He wants his spot back. He comes underneath of Weiss. So a new leader, Austin Inman, who came through, got around Torgerson. Klaus Williams hanging in 3rd as Ripka continues to battle Weiss.
This is insane battling right now, Dean. And these guys kind of know that the pay window is open. We're down to 40 laps to go at the line as Weiss has got a mirror full of TJ Rogers.
Yeah, this is where it gets a little scary, Jared. Guys know the pay window's open. They've amped it up a bit. We got Tom Lester off the track. He's come back on the surface. We stay green here. Further back in the field, Pistol thinking about a 3 wide momentarily. Backs out of it. He's in heavy traffic back here, Jared.
Oh, some guys getting in the wall up in the front, Dean, and this is getting intense. As you said, West Pistol got a lot of speed, but you got to be methodical. You can't take yourself out of the race as Tracy Powers gets put in the middle of a 3 wide sandwich.
Yeah, these guys racing awful hard. Pistol still working on it. He gets by Fleming. Now he'll work on Tracy Powers. In front of him, Michael Walker trying to do some things. TJ Rogers a little further up just set the best lap of the race.
Coming back to the front is also Lance Ripka as they both get underneath the 16 of Klaus Williams, who just got a little bit up out of the groove and couldn't make it. Troy Torgerson trying to get the nose, clearing air. He's going to try to make a move on the outside of Inman for the lead down to 3.
He's got the outside, Jared, with fresh rubber. This should work. Troy Torgerson up here trying to do one good lap and get that clean air back.
TJ Rogers is there. Ripka is there. Don't count out Craig Martin, who's also there in the 75 machine. 5 cars under a blanket with Klaus Williams and Ross Weiss looking on.
Inman fighting back on the inside. He's going to hold them off. Here comes Ripka underneath the Rogers. He stalls out a little bit.
Rogers pops to the outside of Torgerson. Can he get a good run through the middle of the corner? That seems to be the struggle in the 72 machine. Ripka underneath of him now.
Big run for Rogers. Where's he going with it?
Kind of relaxes, finds a groove. He gets underneath of Torgerson, who kind of had a bobble in the center of turn 2 there, Dean. And now Rogers to the right quarter panel. He backs out to get right on the back bumper, though.
Behind them, all kinds of fighting around Weiss, Walker, Pistol in this group, Fleming, Powers all in this group. All of a sudden, Whiting up in here.
Michael Walker also in that group too, Dean. You may have said that, but boy, oh boy, he is probably thinking to himself, I would just like to finish here because I might be the point leader, but I sure don't want to get involved in a wreck.
Well, Jason Ratliff, your points leader, he's picked up a couple, even on the old tires, so he's hanging in there, still needs a caution. Craig Martin, still in 6th. He's under heavy fire here, a whole line of cars underneath him.
TJ Rogers loose off turn 4, but he's going to get alongside Inman in the 18th. Ripka to the outside, Torgerson, battle for 4th, or battle for 3rd, and a battle for the lead as Rogers takes it into turn 2.
Wow, what fighting all around Old Texas. TJ Rogers out front.
Klaus Williams heavy block there on Tom Ashley. I think that is the 62 machine, but everybody gets through there fine. Todd Gilly up in this battle right now. Gets around Ross Weiss. He's into the side of the top 10 in the 19 machine.
Gilly having a nice run here tonight.
And Jason Jackson in the chat, he's like giving a great reminder to these drivers, don't burn them up. Still a long way to go, and he is right. Who has something left on the tires and who may have been saving a little bit, as a power move again from Tom Ashley trying to get her, or Shane Fleming trying to get underneath Ross Weiss.
Yeah, everybody, and that's a great point from our chat there. I think you got to look at someone like Tom Ashley. He's been fairly quiet. He's just sitting in here, rolling the bottom nice and quietly. We're seeing a lot of our top guys burn them up here early. Maybe Tom Ashley will sneak up in here.
Yeah, he's running the best he's run all night, Dean. First time we've talked about him all night inside the top 5, battling with Craig Martin, looking underneath Torgerson. Klaus Williams gets underneath Torgerson as well. So Klaus kind of dropped back a little bit, but he is coming back to the front. Never count the 16.
Things so heated, so tough. Torgerson coming back on Williams. Ashley underneath the Martin. Martin way up the track. A massive run generated as well.
And here comes Gilly sticking his nose on the backside of the top 5. He's got a good run coming on Ross Weiss on the outside. Shane Fleming, haven't talked a lot about him tonight, sneaking into the top 10.
All right, we'll see how all this shakes out. Another 10 laps or so. Tire wear will be evident. Rogers, your leader. Inman second. Ripka, who led by 6 seconds at one point, now in 3rd. Williams and Torgerson in the top 5. It's Ashley fighting with Martin, along with Weiss trying to get in there, and the Toad Man as well.
Michael Walker has dropped a little bit back, Dean, and we wonder, is he saving just a little bit of tire there? But he does have a mirror full Pistol and Tracy Powers in there as well. So this is going to be interesting, as Klaus Williams might have touched the wall going into turn 1.
Man, oh man, heavy fighting. Does not give me time to speculate why the Toad Man is called the Toad Man, Jared.
I'm going to need a moment, actually, because I'm about to die over here.
Race lead, or no, second place, sorry, Inman and Ripka going at it. This is good and bad. I mean, they both want this track position, and it's going to cost both of them as they fight for it. Torgerson behind them, just lurking. Williams and Ashley hunting.
Dean out here asking the pertinent questions in the heat of battle. I always like to make sure we have that. As Inman very close to Ripka, maybe in contact entering 3. That pushes Ripka up the track.
Yeah, Inman and Ripka are going at it. Unbelievable. This is Texas. I remember these battles, Jared, and eventually someone's going to get a little bump. I specifically remember someone telling me, oh, sorry, I didn't know that you were there.
Oh, man. Inman gave a little bump to Ripka, I think, right there. But it's actually going to cost him. He got loose because of the bump, and Ripka's going to clear him.
So Ripka fought hard. Now he's clear, and you can see instantly gaps Inman as he gets down to the bottom, what he loves so much. TJ Rogers just ahead. Can he hang on?
Dean, that wasn't me, was it?
What's that?
That wasn't me, was it? That
No,
that
no.
you misquoted.
No, and I misquoted it a bit. It was more like, oh, that bump threw me up the track. Sorry about that. The person involved will know exactly who. It's an old running joke in my Discord. It's been going on for about 8 years, Jared. NASCAR drivers or sim racers have long memories.
Yeah, okay. Now we're speaking now, so understood. But Ripka now underneath of TJ Rogers. I mean, this is an insane battle as the top four really have been able to separate out and haven't really changed a whole lot. Ross Weiss has fought off several combatants and has found himself into the top 5 now as Ripka takes the lead off turn 4.
Yeah, and I got to say, where Weiss is, Jared, that's an advantage. He's got this little space here where perhaps he can just kind of manage the vehicle. I know it's 24 to go, but I'll be honest with you, if you could save for 4 or 5 laps here before you make your move, he might be in really good shape. Tom Ashley and Wes Pistol going at it. So the Pistol coming back up here on the outside. He's going to wrap it right around Ashley, and now he's going to look to take on Claus Williams right in front of him, who just touched the wall, Jared.
TJ Rogers also touched the wall too, Dean, and he checked everybody up behind him, and that allowed Ripka to open up a little bit of a gap.
So Ripka back out front, surging as Rogers' car starts to go away again. Inman looking on the bottom now. Rogers back up there. That has not worked for him as the run's gone on, Jared, but he keeps going back to it.
I don't know if that's netcode contact with the wall, but I think he hit that wall that time.
Oh, that seemed pretty solid to be netcode, Jared. I think that was jarring. Now Weiss going by, so Rogers back to 5th. And here comes Pistol and Williams. They are still in a battle. The Toad Man makes a move on Tom Ashley behind him. So fights all through the track here. 22 to go.
Rogers hemorrhaging time, so I think you're right, Dean. I think he might have got that wall. And Pistol around him. Claus Williams now battling with him. And everything's starting to sort itself out, Dean, a little bit with 20 to go.
Well, that's it. It's the fighting is for position. Once you get those positions, it will sort itself out to some degree. Rogers still fading. Tom Ashley coming underneath. Here's the Toad Man. He's got trouble underneath of him, so it's almost 3 wide there with Craig Martin.
Our second place point man, Michael Walker, has got a front row seat for all this 3 wide battling right in front of him.
TJ Rogers is just off the pace, letting the whole field go by. That could be courtesy. There's Brantley now. So Brantley going to move up to 14th. His night seemingly over at one point. He's back in it. Ripka is setting sail, though. He's got 7/10 on Austin Inman and Troy Torgerson.
Michael Walker, the second, just got wicked loose through 3 and 4. He just lost.
Oh, and there goes Whiting. Whiting, who went through the grass, came back on the track, down to the inside wall. No caution on the track.
That's almost exactly what happened to Walker. And Walker lost 4 positions holding on to the thing. And that's huge because, Dean, you look at this, the standings. Walker now showed. Let's see what it updates. He's still losing positions, Dean. The 22 machine has not been able to recover very well. He's in 14th, and Jason Ratliff is in 17th right now. This is huge for the point battle.
This is huge. The point battle, don't forget, 10 deep. We'll have to look at it post-race who's actually going to be in front. Ripka out here extending that lead. So hard to catch. One guy who might be able to do something, Pistol. He has had terrible track position tonight. He's up to 4th, Jared.
First, Ripka well out ahead. Then 2nd through 4th, or 2nd through 5th, kind of in their own little world. And then Claus Williams by himself in 6th. Battling still rages on deeper in the field, but the top group of drivers have kind of separated themselves out and now are going to fight for the final positions here at this race.
Wow, the Toad Man way up the track, catches a piece of the wall. He'll lose 2 spots here as Powers goes into the top 10, now up 9 spots on the evening.
And you're right behind Gilly. You had Greg Ratliff and Jason Brantley, both of them caught out by that caution with their strategy, and had to restart basically at the end of this line. And they're trying to move their way through the field as Brantley making a big move on Greg Ratliff, can't quite get there.
Yeah, Brantley closed that door as fast as it opened, Jared. It's like your parents slamming the door on your fingers when you're trying to get in their bedroom.
Absolutely, and Powers passing Gilly. You're killing me tonight.
Trying to keep...
Powers in the top 10. That's what I was going to go with that.
All right, looks like the Toad Man making a move on Powers as he got that car back underneath him. What I'm noticing is Toad Man's car, maybe everybody's car, a little unsettled on entry, Jared. We remember this at this track. That entry much better by the 19, but he's drifting up. He'll have to lift a little. Powers trying to hold him off.
Yes, sorry, Dean. You got me choked up a couple of times tonight. That last one, I couldn't do anything about it. I had to cough for a minute.
Just so the people know, that's $5 in the cookie jar every time, Jared.
Guys, on air?
we saw alone in 5th, Pistol still behind Torgerson and Inman, and they are hanging with Ripka. The time's matching. I think Ripka just managing that machine now that he's out front. It'll be 12 to go at the line for Lance. The Buckshot Ripka.
Oh,
Whiting's on pit road.
My goodness, Torgerson about wrecked that thing off turn number 4, Dean. Unbelievable.
Yeah, you're trying to overdrive this machine, Jared, and it's going to break loose on you. There's only so much power it'll accept down to the rear tires. Brantley with a big move towards the back here. Not the back, but around 12th position. He comes underneath of Greg Ratliff. Ratliff will try and hold him off. Walker right there, and this is big for Walker. He's only going to gain a few spots on Jason Ratliff if he finishes here. There's 3 right in front of him, Jared.
Yeah, that's got to be weighing on you if you're Michael Walker. Like, man, Ratliff's having a bad night. I can't have a bad night. I have tires. I need to pick up positions. I only got 10 laps at the line to do it.
So they all get that sorted out momentarily at the front. Now opening up another couple of tenths. Inman in second. Here comes Pistol. He's worked his way past Torgerson. Probably had that little bauble you were talking about. Now Pistol trying, if he can get around Inman, he got to do it now, Jared. Time's winding down.
Yeah, it's getting down to it. I mean, you're not wrong about that, as we had some big moves deeper in the field there. Todd Gilly, Tom Ashley, Klaus Williams. That was risky into turn 3. Gilly is still there, but boy, that could have been, that was 3 wide, went down to 2 wide there.
Fighting going on the last moments. Gilly surging on Tom Ashley right to his bumper. No contact. All of a sudden off the corner, Powers with some power, but no, he falls back in line. Or does he? These cars bobbing and weaving, Jared.
Yeah, well, I think they went a lot harder in this run, and now all of a sudden that tire wear is, or tire heat or whatever, is really starting to rear its head, right? And I think these guys are finding a different handling condition than they felt earlier or at all in this race.
TJ Rogers on pit road. Not sure if that was intentional or not. Now a 1-second lead for Buckshot.
Yeah, he was continuing to hemorrhage time, and I think he just pulled to pit road and said, well, maybe I can go out here and gain a few spots at the end of this race. But that is going to help Jason Ratliff.
Definitely does. Jason Ratliff up to 16th. Michael Walker 13th.
and he's in a gaggle. I mean, he is in a true gaggle of a battle back here, led by Todd Gilly, who is in 9th, trailed up at the very end of this by Herb Ashley. So, I mean, that is what or actually, Tom Lester and Tony Ratliff are in there. They are laps down. Actually, yeah, Herb Ashley is the last lead lap car in this battle, and it is a tight one back here.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of positions wedged together. There's Walker in 14th. Behind him, Herb Ashley. In front of him, Greg Ratliff. Him and Ratliff's been tough all night. Brantley just up the way. He's starting to fight. Powers at the head of the group, and Gilly going at it.
A good run for Todd Gilly. Good recovery for Tracy Powers, who is 4th in points coming into tonight. Dean, don't count him out of a championship battle, but had not been having a good night, and now he finds himself ranking in the top 10 for the first time all evening.
While all this is going on, Ross Weiss got by Troy Torgerson for 4th. So Torgerson down to 5th, Owens in 6th, and Craig Martin all alone in 7th, Williams all alone in 8th, and back to this gaggle.
Yeah, Torgerson tried to make a move on Gilly, got tight off the corner. Brantley takes advantage to go to the outside, but Torgerson fighting back. He's on the back bumper of Gilly at the same time. Gilly slides up in front of Brantley, gonna kill that momentum.
Okay, you're talking about Powers, I believe, not Torgerson, right?
Yeah, Powers, sorry, 4 Powers in the 40.
That's another $5, folks.
Yeah. Powers trying to make a move on the bottom off of 2 and just not really sticking. Might have an opportunity here.
Oh, Gilly!
Oh my goodness, big block.
Was that a block or did he get loose? I don't know, but Gilly chasing the car around the track. Him and Brantley way up there. Powers trying to come through.
Yeah, he might have got loose, Dean. I couldn't tell if my camera switched at the wrong time, so it might have been just getting loose. But Gilly,
either way, it was wild, Jared. Here comes Walker.
Get in here.
Yeah, Walker going to grab a spot here. He's gotten by Tom Ashley, and he's looking square at 2 more. We're on 3 to go. Powers makes a move, or does he? Brantley will hold him off. So these are important positions here. Michael Walker underneath of the Toad Man, trying to pick up one last late spot. 2 to go for Lance Ripka. He is way out front. Inman in 2nd, holding off Pistol. Weiss has caught up to them. Looks like Torgerson's starting to find his way late here as well. Back to this battle. Sorting itself out. Walker's in 12th. He goes to the outside of Greg Ratliff here, trying to pick one up. It's the final lap. The white flag is out. Put Walker up to 11th. Shane Fleming, something wrong with him. It's too late for all of that. Lance Ripka down the back straightaway. Buckshot down through 3 and 4. He is going to come home and win the Texas 200. Lance Buckshot Ripka. Inman in 2nd, holding off Pistol and Weiss. Torgerson a top 5. Oh. My goodness, and late Walker gets by everybody and ends up in 9th. That could be a championship move for Walker.
I don't know how he did it, but at the end of the race, the seas parted for Michael Walker to grab 9th. But what a job by Lance Ripka. I mean, he had everything thrown at him, Dean. He had, the caution in the middle of the race, and he had to go. And then he had a gigantic lead, and then he had another caution thrown at him. He had to come from 11th place back to the front, and my goodness, what a job by Lance Ripka.
Yeah, I mean, talk about fighting through adversity, right, Jared? I mean, he had a little bit of everything thrown at him here tonight. He handled it like the pro that he is, and he's in here burning it down in victory lane. Can't wait to see what the points say and all that. But right now, let's go to a commercial. We'll come back. We'll talk to these guys and talk about the points a little bit. welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. A little time machine, old Texas here tonight. What a race, Jared.
Yeah, I think that if you're watching at home, this race had just about everything. I mean, we had some long green flag runs, we had some short runs, we had some comers and goers. I don't know what else you would ask for. We had green flag pit stops, Dean, and most of all, we have a championship battle that has tightened up significantly coming out of Texas with 2 races to go.
Well, let's talk about that for a second as we'll bring up our unofficial scoring here. And Jared, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable what I'm seeing. This is unofficial, so any one of these top 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 drivers could be your actual points leader. We have it, Michael Walker with a 1-point lead over Chris Owens, who has a 2-point lead over Jason Ratliff, who has a 3-point lead over Lance Ripka. You got Sixpack, you got Torgerson, Pistol, and Powers, along with Brantley, all in it. Those top 8 separated unofficially by 15 points, Jared, with 2 races left.
Yeah, it is going to be tight, and I mean anybody can really, really win inside that top 8 without a lot of things changing, right? I mean, 15 points from first to 8th, that can be just a race. I mean, we've seen that tonight with Jason Ratliff struggles, boy, I tell you what, you got 3 cars, 4 cars under a 6-point blanket going into 2 tough races, Dean. It's going to be a show, and everybody is starting to come to the pay window as this season comes to a close.
Jared, and where does this thing finish at? Talladega. We go to Phoenix next week, Talladega for the finale. I mean, holy cow, it's going to be on the line in a super speedway.
Absolutely, and you can catch it all on Wind Tunnel TV.
That you can. Right now, let's get into some race interviews as we bring in 3rd place finisher, Wes Pistol. Wow, what a night. A lot of adversity here for you tonight, Wesley. But first, we'll just say congratulations on a hard-fought 3rd place.
Yeah, did you see me pass all those cars tonight?
Yeah, you might have got the most pass tonight, Wesley. That could be worth a point or something. I mean,
yeah, it was crazy. We got bumped a little bit early on, and I had a good enough car. I was able to come through the field, but then the cautions didn't fall right, and then that last restart, I was fast again, but used them up a little bit too much to get all the way through the field. And Inman was quick; he was defending. So just couldn't quite get back to the front, but all in all, a pretty good night.
Yeah, I mean, up and down. I mean, you could have been 2 spots better. Maybe we'll never know. Talk a little bit about how to handle yourself through this, Wesley. I mean, number one, you get the little bump there, and you don't totally wreck, but you drop all the way to the back of the field. And of course, badly timed caution doesn't do you a whole lot of favors, I don't believe. Just talk about how you got to try and keep your mind right and how tough that is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I was angry, but when you're forced into that, you're kind of the patience is kind of just dictated to you. You have to be patient. So it probably, I mean, in the long run, having to kind of pick and choose my spots and where to pass and where to be aggressive, being in the back, it may have helped me honestly as far as getting back to the top 5. Now, once I got to there, the guys are so fast, it's hard to actually clear them all. But yeah, I mean, getting back there, it's kind of the hand you're dealt. So I was just able to kind of keep my cool and just pick them off as I could.
Well, then you get, your late race caution, kind of late anyway, and guys are driving awful hard because it's, the pay window's open. It's time to go. So, maybe you're going to be better 10 laps from now or 15 laps from now. But right now, everybody's kind of even. You don't want to put your car through it, but you kind of have to, don't you, Wesley? You can't give up too much.
Yeah, I think we restarted with 35 to go or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, so that's kind of a weird spot because you're not going to go a full fuel run, obviously, and you don't have time to dilly around too much because you got to make some spots up. So I think I executed it pretty well, all things considered. I didn't run it. I don't know if I could have caught Lance. I caught Austin, I think I was a little faster than him still, but he did a good job defending, and we all had old tires at that point. But all in all, I think I did a pretty good job at that 35 to go restart. That was about as good as I could do for where we were at.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I want to talk a little bit more about the early part of the race too. Something we noticed with Inman, and I think you as well, but maybe not as much. But there was a lot of shifting of position. It seemed like it wasn't just the normal, oh, I'm going to fade back and I kind of come forward. There was fading back, coming forward, fading again, coming back again. There was a lot of ebbs and flows to that early run, wasn't there?
Yeah, I was on the pole, so I had the clean air to start, and I think I got a good start and jumped out. But I knew I didn't want to I wasn't attempting to gap them because I knew if I did that, I'd just burn my stuff up. I think my pole was a 30 flat, and my fastest lap in that first run was like a 36. So obviously, I was not trying to just go wide open as fast as I could. I feel like again did a good job managing again because I fell to fourth, but I felt like my balance was still good, and then I was able to get back to second before the incident. So, yeah, I mean, I think this track especially. It's slick, it's old, and there's a lot of importance placed on managing and don't go too fast early. But there's you guys know this in racing. There's a fine line of you can go so slow and conserve, and you fall way behind, and you can go so fast and be fast early on, but then you burn your stuff up. So it's just hard to find that line. And for whatever reason, I think I did a decent job of that here, but not quite fast enough to win it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you did a great job of it, Wesley, and I think you were fast enough to win it. But the situations around the track were a little tough on you tonight. You recovered nicely, and before you go, I want to talk about this championship. 2 races remaining: Phoenix, and we finish at Talladega. You're in it, Wesley, and there's 8 guys, maybe more, but 8 specifically that are within a handful of points of each other. Man, it's going to be full on terror out there the next couple of weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, thankfully these guys are pretty good at what they do and pretty courteous. So it's fun. I'll do what I can to finish just as well as I can and let the chips fall where they may. So Talladega is a crapshoot, and I love Phoenix. So hopefully they'll work out for me.
All right. Well, Wesley, thought you did a pros race here, especially when you needed a good finish to stay in this battle. Awesome third place finish. We'll turn the mic over to you, my friend. Anybody you'd like to shout out, please do.
Yeah, I'll say first of all, thanks to all our sponsors, Alive Church, East Coast Web Printers, and Kylou Glass for putting this on, and for you guys. I watched the broadcast. Like I said this before, y'all interviewed me. I watched the broadcast usually the next day because it's a good show to watch. So I appreciate you guys doing that for us. I think my dad and my wife are both watching tonight. My cousin Daniel, he usually watches for me. So hey to everybody, love you guys, and go Vols.
All right. Go Vols, right, Jared? That's Wesley Pistol.
Yeah, Dean, I'm down here with our runner-up tonight, Austin Inman. Austin, what a race! Congratulations on your runner-up tonight.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Man, I don't know where to start with your race tonight, but you were all over the top 5 most of the night. But let's talk about the hard battling there at the end with you and Pistol, Ross Weiss is in there, Torgerson, and of course Lance Ripka.
Yeah, that was really quite a battle we had there at the end. I really was committed to not giving up the bottom. I don't know if that was kind of something that was apparent through the broadcast, but going back to the beginning of the race, I got stuck up top, I think with like 10 laps into the first run, and I got stuck up top and I just got shuffled all the way back because I was really focusing on trying not to use my tires. So I was really, really focused on not giving up the bottom and really just trying to drive out of my mirror to keep them behind me because they're all really, really good drivers. And I knew that if they were to get by me, that was not going to catch them again.
Well, you had a whale of a race tonight, Austin. I mean, and you think about the races you have done. I mean, these haven't been easy. You raced at Vegas, you raced at the old Atlanta, you raced at Darlington. I mean, do you just like these old tracks here?
Yeah, funny enough, tonight was my first time running Old Texas. Darlington, when we ran that, I had never run Darlington before. So I really had to put in a lot of work to get kind of caught up. I mean, a lot of these guys have been racing since the early NR 2003 days. So really just trying to put in the time to get, fast laps. But yeah, I mean, I really like the mile and a half. So that's kind of what I started when I started iRacing a year and a half ago. That's what I started on, really, was the old ARCA car on the mile and a halves. So that's kind of where I found I race the best.
Well, Austin, you really have shown a lot of talent. Now, obviously, you're not really, fighting for the championship. You missed some races and everything like that. Are you just out there to try to grab some wins? Because tonight it looked like you might have been on the verge for your first one, if not for Mr. Lance Ripka.
Yeah, unfortunately I had to miss a couple races there to start the season. I think my goal with this first year in the league is trying to get into the top 10 in points, especially after missing a couple races and with some of the past finishes I've had. Just getting into that kind of top 10 in points and maybe trying to steal a win here or there would really is probably what I'm aiming for.
Well, Austin, you put on a show tonight. Great battling up front all night long. And we head into these last two races of the season. I don't have a doubt that you're going to compete for a top 10 in point. But I'm going to turn the mic over to you and let you have the last word on your race here tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank Kylou Glass, Alive Church, and East Coast Web Printers. My mom and my dad usually watch these races. I have a couple other friends that watch too, so say hi to them. And yeah, go blue.
All right, Dean, that was our runner-up tonight, Austin Inman.
All right, we're getting shout-outs tonight, too. Go Blue, go Vols. I mean, maybe Ripka's got something here, and that's who we turn our attention to. The winner, Lance Buckshot Ripka, back in victory lane. And in this series, Lance, I mean, this is a big one. Not only do you get the victory, but you get yourself positioned here with 2 races remaining. Congrats on this victory.
Thanks, man. It's kind of a goal of mine to try to get a win in every series, and I think this is the first one in this series, so it's another check in the box. Yeah, it was a tough track. You kind of fought a tight loose scenario, and if you kept fighting it, you were just junk at the end. But I was able to get it figured out and save the tires and a lot better than others. And yeah, man, it was yeah, here it was a fun race.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun, and it's more fun when you feel hooked up, Lance. And what I was saying is, you weren't just good on the long run tonight, which is great and something you need to do. You could hold your own, or even, get up there and take the lead on the short run without burning them up. I mean, it just seemed like it kind of suited you here tonight.
Yeah, I just this track and I guess just kind of hit it off tonight. Yeah, I had good short run speed, good long run speed. Um, I'm not really sure what I was doing any different than anybody else. But yeah, I mean, it was just it just clicked. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about
Well,
that. It was just but you never really felt like you were in tune with the track. I mean, you were fighting it the entire run.
Adversity is something I brought up with Wes. He certainly went through it, but so did you, Lance. These cautions, you get these different strategies, boy, and a timely caution, or untimely in your case, can set you back. I think you restarted in the 11th or 12th position. What were you thinking at that time?
Well, before the caution came out, I was actually pretty nervous that I wasn't even going to make it because I was at that point I was like right on the money, so I had to do some saving throughout that run. Once that caution came out, and if I looked and seen where I was at, I thought I was over. But that restart, I don't know what happened to that top side, but they didn't go, which got me up to 4th pretty quickly, so I didn't have to pass too many cars. That helped out a lot, and then. Picking and choosing when I wanted to make that move. I knew if I waited too long, our tires would equal out too much, and I needed that extra tire to get around them on the top side. So I just made the move with TJ and uh, just kind of conserved my tires from there, and was able to get by TJ there towards the end.
Lance, during the run, we've seen a lot of cars, or some cars, I should say, trying the high line. I think their success was minimal up there. A couple laps here and there it worked, but mostly it didn't. I didn't see you go up there tonight. Were you trying to avoid the high side tonight?
Yeah, high side was just killing on that right. I was killing the right front. You carried just too much speed through there. On the top side. I don't know if it's just kind of a mental thing or what the deal is. I'm sure there's a way to run it, but um, I wasn't able to do it in practice yesterday, so I wasn't planning on doing it today. The bottom side, I was able to keep my tires cooler, um, and they wore a lot more even. So I just kind of married the bottom, and that was where I wanted to run most of the race. And I knew the top side was it could be faster with the fresh tires or fresher tires. Um, so that I knew I was able to use that for the pass if I needed it. And I guess that's how I had to get around two of them at least. But yeah, that top side was it just wore the tires out too fast. It heated up that right front, and it definitely caused that tight loose feeling.
Lance, we are now down to 2 races remaining. This point battle going to be like nothing else. I mean, it. I don't have the official result numbers, but I can tell you there's going to be 8 drivers with 2 races remaining. You got Phoenix, and we finish at Dega. I mean, you guys might give us a damn heart attack, Lance, if you're all in it going to Dega. I don't know how I'm going to call this thing.
Well, I'm sure you guys will figure it out. You guys do a great job. But yeah, it is pretty exciting. It's always good to have more than one or two drivers battling at the end. To have eight or 7 or 8, 9, whatever it is, to have a shot at it in that last race. That's pretty impressive.
It is. It's a testament to the league and what you guys have done and to your actions here tonight and a little bit to the bad luck of Jason Ratliff. Shout out to him. A little rough go of it there for him. But Lance, what a run. You did everything you needed to do and got that important victory checked off on your box. Congratulations, man. We'll turn it over to you. Anything you want to say or anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, you bet. I'll give you guys a shout out. You guys do a hell of a job every week. We appreciate everything you guys do. Um, East Coast Web Printers for our Gen 6 series, a live church for Xfinity, and of course Kylou Glass for sponsoring the Gen 4 series. Um, Ripka Designs, and all the men and women in the service. Appreciate everything they do.
All right, Jared, our race winner, Mr. Lance Buckshot Ripka, and we got ourselves a true points battle.
Yeah, we do, and you keep alluding to it. I mean, yeah, we have Phoenix next week, and yeah, there could be some separation there. That is a track, and this is old Phoenix. Remember, this is not the new Phoenix with the banking. This is the old Phoenix with the flat, basically 3 and 4, and a little slight banking in 1 and 2. There could be some shakeup there, but I mean, Talladega is looming as the championship final. I mean, I'm sure the drivers probably had their own opinions about that being the finale. I know from a broadcast standpoint, that's going to be intense.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes, right? But after the race, I got a feeling we're going to send some letters to NASCAR and say, how about we make the big event the last event instead of the first one? But nonetheless, I mean, this is awesome. Again, we bring up the points. These are unofficial, folks. I'm sure they're not exactly correct. I got a sneaky suspicion that Ripka, with some bonus points, might be your leader, but there is really not going to be big gaps here. And even Brantley, who fought tonight, Jared, another story. I mean, Brantley is one of the guys in this thing, and he did it by getting a 10th place, a top 10, starting on pit road and having, just bad luck all around, but he made it work.
Yeah, there was a lot of great storylines. I mean, West Pistol, both orange cars, hard to sometimes get them confused. Having to come from the back to the front. I mean, Jason Ratliff with his connection issues that cost him some spots. And how about Michael Walker at the very end? I mean, just kind of just throwing it all to the wind, picking up 4 spots in the last 2 laps to go from 13th to 9th. That, when we look back at the end of Talladega and point to that as a difference maker, I mean, time will tell, but I think it could be important as we head to the last 2 races.
I mean, if my memory can hold on to it, Jared, that's a big if. But yeah, those are the type of things that we like to harken back on. We talk about championship racing all the time, folks, and this was a championship move, picking up 3-4 points in the last lap or 2. unbelievable. So all around a great night. Buckshot Ripka checks his box, gets a win in the Gen 4 car. He'll be in it. 2 more races. Make sure you come out. But for myself, Dean Doucette, for Mr. Jared Carr, that's going to wrap it up from old Texas. We'll see you right here next time on Wind Tunnel TV.